Good afternoon. I hope you're enjoying the conference. I wanted to have a short talk just talking about the age of data governance and how that is being driven by AI. I mean, as we see, like, AI is ever increasing in all the discussions that we have around. And businesses are really aware that AI does come with risks and government legislation and requires consideration of responsible AI as part of the wider picture. And this session is just a brief overview of where we are with legislation tools and why data quality is a must for data and AI and how we can get started. So just a little bit about myself. I'm the Data and AI Practice Lead at Cloud Direct. I've spent a lot of time being a data researcher and looking at best practices and procedures and how we look at management of database systems. I'm one of the founders of Data Toboggan, the conference we're running today, and I do a lot of work in the community, helping out with various different events and speaking at different locations as well. So this session is going to look at why now as a sort of brief overview, and then thinking about where we are and why AI is the talk of the town, and then looking to consider data quality and why that is a must, and how we can get started in that age of data governance. Data governance is often seen as really costly to implement. And this has been the historic view of data governance over a number of years. But with sort of the introduction of new technologies, things have changed on that front. But it still has a bit of that misnomer within the industry. And as we see now, we've got lots of data expanding everywhere, and they're creating large, vast areas of siloed data. And this data has got no business benefit. And then on top of that, we also see that regulatory compliance is becoming more and more critical all the time, as every day we see those data breaches growing within the industry. So moving from traditional data governance, we move through the standards that have been created in the Dama de Bock guide, and then moving on to best practices that have been created in the DCAM by the EDMC Council. And we move into this new era at that time with Microsoft Purview. And then that has been developing a lot over the last year, and we've now got this new era of data governance, helping us navigate all of this with a critical set of tools to cover not only data governance, but risk and compliance and security, but also looking at that responsible AI side. We have the traditional data governance model, which is all about the people side and the management of data governance, and that's sort of merged and become part of that responsible AI framework that Microsoft has as well. So we think about those 6 sort of standard metrics that we have here: fairness, reliability and safety, thinking about that privacy and security and how that blends in, how we can be inclusive, that transparency and accountability of data, all which are core parts of the traditional data governance methodologies which are shown here. Where are we now with AI being absolutely forefront and mixed with data governance? Our first thing to consider is there is new legislation out there which adds additional burden on how we actually govern systems. And this is the AI Act, and there are various levels you can see within that. I haven't got time to sort of go into that today, but it's sort of a categorization of how risk is managed within the AI systems. Microsoft have been putting in a tremendous amount of work to help us navigate this responsible AI set of standards. So they've got documents there. We've also got like an impact assessment template that we can use, and also there's a guide that will help you navigate that completion as well. So in addition to those document standards, there are a number of tools as well, which, although separate from the data governance side, they all help bring together that entire holistic picture about looking at responsible AI. And we think like, how do we manage human behaviour? How do we make content safe for people as they traverse the web and other applications? And then also putting together a responsible AI dashboard as part of that toolkit. With these documents and standards that you've kind of seen and applications within the Microsoft stack, there's a new document that has been released recently, which talks about how you govern, map and manage all of this responsible AI side of things. And you can see this new sort of plan of how we map data, how we measure that against things that are going on, how we manage that, and more importantly, in the centre of this, how we actually govern all of that data. So here, this is where Purview comes in, because Purview has sort of grown tremendously, and there is a new reimagined Purview that's available, and it's crossing multiple stacks. You've got the risk and compliance side that's been around for a while, and you can see like from the Purview side of things, from the data governance side of Purview, you've got all that data mapping, collating all that information in, thinking about all the health of that data, and new areas that are touching on that data quality. But you can also see as well within the security stack, you've got this brand new AI hub that has joined the set of tools, and thinking about how responsible AI and how we can sort of like gain insights into that data and help us manage and classify and report on these policies and things. And so it comes nicely together into this stack of tools. So you can see that we've got that traditional sort of like data governance side of things from the people and business side of things, which are brought in and bringing together data governance and AI into this hub. So I want to delve in a little bit further into how we manage the data. Our primary concern should be how good is the quality of the data, and is an absolute must as we sort of move from traditional analytics, particularly into AI as well. So this is our major point that we need to think about. It is really exciting that Microsoft Purview now has a data quality component. It has a whole set of dashboards and capability within the tool to be able to profile your data, look at data quality rules, set those up, think about how data quality is collected and managed, and you can scan that and run jobs on it, and you can think about what you want to do to enable you to show a business that you've moved from a particular data quality state to a new data quality state, and thus adding business value. And all of this works using I suppose like standard metrics that were originally sort of like defined in the DAMA methodology, but these were completeness, consistency, conformity, accuracy. Freshness is actually called timeless if you look at the DAMA metrics, and then obviously uniqueness. Now, the data quality rules are aligned to the EDM Council, and they look at various sort of standard sort of rules for checking for things like duplicate rows, how up to date the data is, looking at those sort of blank fields, and other sort of data quality type rules. And Purview has these data quality reports, which are really nice and visual and enable the business owners to be able to see exactly what the state of their current data quality is. And the very new part of Purview is this AI hub. And this brings together lots of different capabilities within the responsible AI side, enabling you to assess against various different responsible tasks, and you can sort of see various different elements within this. And Microsoft Purview also has compliance manager assessment templates that look against the EU Act, thinking about NIST and how sort of cybersecurity side of things work, and the various different ISO regulations as well. So how do we get started with this age of governance? I like to start with data governance oversight and thinking about how we have our owners and stewards aligned to the different data sets, and building out our data catalogue of data sources and having that critical business glossary so we know how everything sort of fits together. Then we need a tool to automate this, because just working on the manual side of things, it would take too long to actually get the value out of the data to help us move forward with that risk and compliance and security. And you can see all that responsible AI side as well. And using data quality features within the tool, and using sort of the DAMA sort of rules as well. Think about how data quality helps sort of improve the data, and know at what state you have and whether each data is sort of set to have a certain data quality that meets the business needs. And it might not be 100%, but it might be at a much higher level for some and not so others. So it's worth considering that. And then thinking about that efficacy and making sure that you've got reliable, desirable results and processes in place to help with data governance. In summary, data governance has evolved to be a multidisciplinary area. We have to think about oversight across teams and within different business teams. We need to think about the efficacy for reliable results, thinking about that central metadata repository and how good data quality is, particularly on the parts of data that are business critical, and making sure we have tools for automation that sit across the whole part of the business that speed up the adoption and usage of that data in a sensible way. Thank you for listening, and I hope you found the content within the presentation useful to get you started with data governance and responsible AI.